Okay, miss.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? No. Hello?
Miss.
Can you see my screen?
No, miss.
Wait.
No, okay.
Okay. I'll send you this, okay? At the moment, you just go ahead with this. Right. Today, so okay, guidance and counseling. We have done introduction, history, and the process of guidance and counseling, isn't it? You got the notes, last time notes? Yes. Right. Did you all go through the notes of the process? Anyone?
Yeah, miss. Let me one more.
Yeah, you got all the notes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we are going to learn about principles and functions of guidance and counseling. Okay. It's basically pretty boring because we are going to learn about something, a structure. Okay. Something it's just already there, nothing new, but we'll try to make it a bit interesting. Okay. So whenever you have any questions, maybe a silly question, it's okay, but ask. Okay. Right. So principles and functions of guidance and counseling. Before going into that, what is the need of guidance and counseling, right? So there are two types of need. One is needs for personal and social domain. Okay, the guidance and counsel we need it for two reasons. One is needs for personal and social domain. Okay, what are the needs of personal and social domain? Personal and social development of individuals. So everybody has to develop their self. So everybody needs a guidance throughout their life in career, studies, and family and everything. So whenever they are in some deep problems, deep issues, then they need some counseling. So in personal and social domain, they need guidance and counseling for personal and social development. And second is to adapt in different stages of development. Now, changes are definite for us. Okay, we as we grow, we go into one stage to another. We were kids, we were playing in the kindergarten, then we went to school. That is a drastic change in our life. And then what happened, we moved into from elementary school to secondary school. Then that is something other. And in that period, we become not kids, we are adolescents. So that is a change we undergone. So we need to adapt to those changes. We can't can we do the same thing what we did in the kindergarten in the secondary school? No, because it's not called development. So if you want to get developed, you need to be ready to adapt for the differences, different stages. So that is development. So guidance is a must in this stage. For these adaptations, guidance and counseling is helpful to get the adaptations. Okay. Offering art of better living. Okay. Offering art of better living means now, we all can live in any circumstances. We are living. Even now, we are locked down in a house. We can't go out. We can't see our loved ones. We can't see. We don't know how they are, and we don't know from where we get it. But even in this situation, we are living. So for these times also, kind of these times also, this guidance and counseling is helpful. That is why people are working. Most of the doctors are educating. They are coming on television. They are educating about the situation. They are giving guidance how to wash our hands, how to maintain cleanliness, how to maintain self hygiene, and how to keep distancing, social distancing, and everything. Everything is guided through all the media, social medias and the medias and everything. And people who are in this mainline, front line, they are always coming and instructing. And also the counseling service is also going on to reduce the stress of being at home. Okay, so this is a classic example for offering art of better living, right? So this is a now we can understand the need, how the need arises, and how the guidance and counseling can help in certain particular type of situations. And the other one is proper use of leisure time. Now you have lot of leisure time. What are you all doing? Everybody, mics on. How are you all doing? What are you all doing? I
Uh,
don't hear.
we are cooking, watching movies,
Mm-hmm.
reading books, and
Okay.
talking with
Only
someone.
Sangavi is doing.
No,
Sorry,
Amrita.
Amrita is doing.
Amrita is cooking.
Amrita is cooking. Who is
New
eating?
new recipe, mommy and our neighbors.
Okay. Everybody is eating. Everybody is alive, no, Amrita?
Yeah, Miss. Why, Miss?
Okay. So who else? Who else? Huh? What Tanya doing?
Watching
Let me.
movies. I've started to read the books again.
Uh-huh.
Oliver
So
Twist and some other books.
now at the place where I'm doing counseling these days, all of them are used to work for 16 to 17 hours a day. That is what they have prepared for. Okay. Now they are locked down with their families and all these people. So now they are feeling so stressed out. That's a factory. So that is locked down now. So everybody is feeling highly stressed out and are asking what to do. So now we are giving, sending video clips, sending music links and everything for them to do some stress management with them, because they're stressed out, because they're used to work day and night, 16 17 hours, and they're not used to be with their families for a long time like this. So they don't know what to do, they don't know how to handle themselves. So, and also in this time there are also no liquor. The people who are got used to liquor, now it's going to be a bigger problem, because liquor withdrawal will create a lot of mental issues and social conflicts. Especially domestic violence can go up in this situation. So all this time we need to provide proper counseling at this period. Otherwise, the problem will be developed in a bad way. Okay, so offering art of being art of better living and proper use of leisure time is much important. It needed guidance and counseling. And holistic personality development. What is holistic personality development? Now only we get time for us to see what is our personality is. Am I panicking in this situation? Am I taking it right? How am I dealing with my own people? How am I dealing with my time? Am I developed enough? Am I studied enough? All these things comes to your mind at this time. Now this is a better time, best time for you all to see within yourself and develop your personality. If you see, okay, my personality doesn't suit to the society because I am vulnerable to these things. I am reacting in a different way to these situations. So I have to adapt myself. I have to change myself. I have to develop my personality, right? So now in my case, I'm just trying. I'm much of a hyperactive personality. So now I'm trying to develop myself, my personality, to confine into a house and take care of a lot of things which is around me. And I'm trying to put my energy into this and fulfill my energy demands and also my family demands, right? So this is a good time for us to study ourselves. So in this stage also, to develop the personality, also helped by guidance and counseling. Okay? And best use of available opportunities, right? Normally, people do what they do in society. They have some opportunities which they can't see. They have not given their own views on those opportunities, but they are looking of something else which they have in their back of their mind for a long time, right? So in Tamil, we tell a classic saying for this. கையில வெண்ணெயை வச்சுக்கிட்டு நெய்க்கு அலையிறது. It means you have butter in your hand, but you search for ghee all over the world. If you melt the butter, you will get ghee. But you don't do that. You just have the butter and you search for ghee all over the world. That's what it means. Okay. So now it's a time for you. Now, guidance and counseling, what that does is that helps you to use the opportunities that you have around you and take the maximum use of it through guidance and counseling. Okay, motivated for effective utilization and development. Guidance and counseling will motivate a person to utilize effectively and develop effectively. Okay, any questions? Any questions, Amrita, Sangavi, Netmi?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, second one is need for educational and professional domain. Now, social domain, personal domain is done. Now, this is educational and professional domain, right? So, how we are going to use counseling and guidance for educational and professional ways? It helps in academic growth and development. Now, I told you, no? Guidance, we take career counseling, career guidance because we need to know what is our passion is, in what we are good at. So in that way, we can develop ourselves. So if sometimes we might be good at something, but we don't like it. We can do that, but we don't have much of a passion towards it, right? So counseling helps us to develop a passion towards what we are good at. Okay. Sometimes people are good at, they are not good at certain things, but that is the opportunity that they have. So then again, the guidance and counseling can help them to focus on those things. So academic growth and development helps in vocational and professional maturity. So it helps to develop a vocational and professional maturities and facilitates an individual in the right education and profession. That's what I said. The right education and right profession. It facilitates the individual guidance and counseling and helps in the proper utilization of human resource. Helps in the proper utilization of human resource. Right? Human resource has to be utilized in a proper way. Otherwise, it's waste of manpower. Okay, so career guidance and educational guidance and counseling can help to do this in an effective and efficient way. Helps in adapting to the changing concept of education. Now, that is very important. Nowadays, we need it also because we, as I always tell you, we are in a country where we still stick to the old type of education system, isn't it? Now, we have to adapt ourselves. That's why all these Udgoshana and all these things comes. University students come to the road and they do all these things because they can't adapt themselves. They can't accept new things into the pool. So if they don't accept new things into the pool and expect job vacancies, that is not going to help. I've given you examples as well, right? So you can recall them and see. That's true. You have to adapt to the new changes in concept of education. If you get that concept of education properly, then you can create new opportunities, job opportunities, and new ladders, new paths in career. Otherwise, you have to get stuck in one place in career and education. Okay, so you can use guidance and counseling for that. And especially, we have deviated from certain type of education to marks based education nowadays. Those days our education system, now those days education system is anyway, that is let it be there, but we have been taught morals in our schools. We have been taught morals in our schools. We have been taught proper hygiene, proper proper hygiene has been taught, and self discipline has been taught by our parents, by our teachers, and we, after that, the education system expect everybody to focus on the marks and development only. And we didn't give attention to those morals, hygienes, disciplines, and all those things. And now we are facing the difficulty because we have developed a generation which is lacking of these things. Those are not properly given to them. They have took care, but they have never given a chance to take care of them, their own selves. Now we are facing problems because of that bottom. Okay, so we have to get back to our normal basic disciplines, basic morals, and basic hygienes. So take this opportunity to learn that and go back to the old moral systems and teaching those, because those things carries a big value. The Japan is not afraid of this virus because they always taught their children from the kindergarten about this self-hygiene, morals, and disciplines. That is the first lesson for their kids in the from the kindergarten, where we are rich in culture, but still we forgot all those things. Now we are facing the consequences. Okay, so this is the time for us. So use your guidance and use your counseling in your schools, in your students, to do and develop these things. Okay, any questions? Okay, I take it as a move. Prepare to adapt in changing professional situations and emerging challenges helps in making proper career choices. Okay, so prepare to adapt in changing professional situation and emerging challenges helps in making proper career choices. To choose a proper career and adapt to the changing professional situations, career guidance and educational guidance will give a big help on those things. Helps to minimize indiscipline. Helps to minimize indiscipline. Indiscipline in the sense, no discipline. Okay, so that will career guidance and counseling will give advices, will give proper proper exercises to reduce the indiscipline in education and also profession. Okay, any questions? Shall we move to the principles? Okay, move. So principles of guidance. So we normally go ahead with some educational psychologists and some educational career counselors, such as people like Crow and Crow and Hollis and Hollis. So according to Crow and Crow, Crow means not the crows that you see around in your these things, okay, on the trees. Crow, these are psychologists, okay. According to Crow and Crow, the principles of guidance is all-round development of individuals. It means all-round development in the sense the guidance is focusing on development not only on one certain area, but all the area, the whole development of a person. Okay. And second one is principles of individual differences. Now that means you guidance principle is we have to focus on individuality of a person. Just we can't just guide. Just guiding will not help. We have to guide according to their individuality. The individuality has to be respect in guidance. Just guiding, just generalizing things will not help. So we have to follow the rule of principle of individual differences, and we have to follow the rule of all-round development of individual. And also guidance is related to every aspect of life. The third principle of Crow and Crow, according to Crow and Crow, is guidance is related to every aspect of life. Not only just one side of the life, all the sides. Now, if you are planning now itself, you don't just plan on up to until you finish this degree. Okay? Even after finishing the degree, finding a job, getting into a profession and developing in the profession, moving into the ladder, everything has to taken into consideration when you do a guidance. Okay. So when you are guiding a kid also, you have to take all the stages of his life, not to just to come out from the certain situation. Okay. Right. Cooperating among persons. So the guidance, you are looking at the individuality, you are looking at the person's needs and all-round development and everything, but still that has to cooperate. They have to cooperate among their other people around them also. So that also has to be taken as a rule. And guidance is a continuous and lifelong process. Guidance will not stop at one point. It's a continuous and lifelong process. At any stage of your life, you can get a guidance. Okay? You can get any type, now we can say, okay, I'm a CEO. Why should I go for a career counseling now? No. Being a CEO, how to be an effective CEO, effective entrepreneur, you can have a guidance. There are guidance which can improve you as a CEO as well. So you can it's not just for a period of life. It's a lifelong process. It's a continuous and lifelong process. Guidance for all principles of elaborations. Okay, guidance for all principles of elaborations. Now, all these things are not rigid. These also can develop. So we are giving chances of elaboration in guidance. And responsibility of teachers and parents. Okay, responsibility of teachers and parents. So guidance is a responsibility of teachers and parents too. Okay, so there you come. You're going to be a teacher and you're going to be a parent as well one day. So guidance is not only those who guide. You are the people who are going to guide. So it is your responsibility. You have to take responsibility if you are going to guide a child. Okay? Understood?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure you are not sleeping.
No,
That's
no,
all.
we are not sleeping. We are listening.
Okay, that's
I
good.
hope others also listening.
Everybody, are you listening?
Yes, miss.
Okay, good. Don't sleep, okay? Tanushika, I can't hear you.
Yes, miss.
You are listening now? You can understand.
Understood, ma'am.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay. What are you doing, Tanushika, these days? Cooking?
Cooking and uh, watching TV.
Watching TV, okay. Don't watch too much of TV. Watch TV, it's okay, but don't always watch the corona news, okay? That will make you
Yeah,
stressful.
true,
That will
true,
make you
true.
that will make you stressful too much. So
Yeah.
avoid that.
Okay,
Only
ma'am.
only go for the news and then stop it. Don't scroll down all these WhatsApp messages. Please avoid.
Yeah,
Okay. If you want to get anything, go to the WHO YouTube site or anything and get the proper information and the government sites, government health ministry sites. Other than that, don't even listen to anything else. Okay, Chinese person told this person told, my goodness, what the amount of messages that you are getting.
medicines and all.
Yeah,
If you are having
okay.
4 times tea and plain tea, you can get recover
All
from
this
that.
it's good, okay, people are concerned and people are doing things,
Hmm.
it's good, but still it will make you stressful, okay.
Yeah,
You can develop lot of issues, lot of mental issues, lot of physical issues because of this. So watch TV, it's okay, but not always. Even this
always.
corona memes, the memes that
Yeah,
you are getting, that is also make you stressful. So just try to keep away from those things.
and do something
Okay.
new at home.
Yeah, do something new. We were doing a lot of things now as kids. Try to
Hmm.
regenerate some hobbies of yours.
Hmm.
Stitching, learn something new from your parents. Actually, mothers are good teachers, you know. You can learn a lot of
Yeah,
things from them.
yeah, yeah.
Learn something, stitching, needlework, or something. It's good for you and for your stress release and all these things. And something new to learn. Learn something like that. Okay, so better, good. Even use your YouTube. If you have enough data, use your YouTube and learn something. That's better. Okay, this is the guidance that I can give you in this situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't sleep, just listen. We have to finish this subject anyway, so you have to
Okay, ma'am.
listen, right? Okay. And the flexibility principles of evaluation guidance by trained person. So guidance has to be taken from a trained person, not from everybody, because our people are very good in advising, okay,
Hmm,
very
true,
good in
true, true.
giving guidance and all these things. So guidance should be born from a trained person, not from everyone. So that is one of the principles, guidance principles, because guidance has to be done by a trained person. And principle of periodic appraisal. After giving the guidance, the periodic appraisal is a must. You have to keep watching the development also. Just doing the guidance and taking the responsibility and doing the guidance and ongoing everything, that is not enough, because the appraisal is also has to be done. This is according to Crow and Crow. Okay, unfortunately you have to memorize all this. You should know all this. Okay, you can get a question, right? So according to holies and holies, it's more similar, but there are certain principal differences. The dignity of the individual is supreme. Now, there we said, Crow said, individual differences has to be respected. Here they say dignity of the individual is supreme. Now, just because you are guiding someone, you can't tarnish their dignity. You have to keep up their dignity and you can't be superior. That's what they mean. Okay, you can't take a upper hand and you do this. You can't command them. The dignity of the person, dignity of the individual is supreme. That is first rule of holies and holies. And each individual is different from every other individual. The same thing. Even in Crow and Crow, they say individuals are different. So each individual is different from every other individual. Third one, the primary concern of guidance is the individual. The primary concern of the guidance is the individual in his social setting. So when you're going to do a guidance, the primary the primary concern has to be the individual whom you are going to guide. So it says the individual, the person is centered. Everything, the guidance has first focus on the person's dignity and his individuality and also his social settings. Okay, whatever the social setting, but he is, his individuality, his dignity is very, very important in guidance. And the fourth one, the attitude and personal perception of the individuals are the basis on which he acts. The attitude and personal perception of the individual are the basis on which he acts. Now, attitudes and the personal perception of the individual. So when you're guiding, you have to take into consideration of his attitude and personal perception, because whatever you give, whatever the guidance that you give, he is going to act on the basic of his attitude and his perception. So you have to consider that first. The individual generally act to enhance his perceived self. So people have perceived us in a different way, but we have perceived us in a way. So that when you are guiding, a person is going to act according to that his self perceivedness. Now, if you call a small kid, if he thinks that he has some superpowers, okay, if you are giving guidance, he will first act according to his perseverance. He perceives, he thinks that he has superpowers. So when you are giving guidance, you can't just say, okay, you don't have superpowers, just those are stupid, just stop it. You can't say like that. Because he will you have to let them have their own perceived self. You have to accept it and go ahead with your guidance. Then slowly they will change, they will adapt and they will do things. But first you have to know, you should know that they will act according to their perceived self. The individual generally act to enhance his perceived. So he normally act to enhance the perceived self. But he thinks that he is. He want to enhance that. Right? So when you are guiding someone, you have to take this also into consideration. The individual has the innate ability to learn. Innate ability in the sense, they have an eternal need to learn. The individual needs a continuous guidance process from early childhood through adult. So this is also same as them. It says continuous process. Here also they say everybody has a inborn need of learning. So they need continuous um, guidance process from the childhood to adulthood. Okay. So each individual may need the information and personalized assistance given by competent professional personnel at some time. So here also they say each individual may need the information and personalized assistance given by competent professional. Competent professional means the trained professional. Okay, so the need of a trained professional in all these informations and personalized assistance has to be given. But the person who is giving a guidance has to be competent in what he is doing. Understand? Any questions? We will not ask you to what what they say, what, which is right, which is wrong, critically analyze. Those things will come in your uh, degree, okay, not in this. So but you have to know these two guide principles of guidance according to pro and pro and hodis and hodis. There are much more people who have given principles on this, but we take these two. Okay. More or less everything is same. Okay, any questions? Any questions, everybody? You all understood? I'm going to ask questions now. Can you see me? No. Amartha, Tanya, Sangavi. Only you three are there? No. Arushika?
Oh, Miss others here.
Dhanishika
Dhanishika.
Netmini is there.
Okay. So, okay, cameras are off, no?
Yeah. Someone is coughing. Corona.
Who is coughing?
Me.
Okay.
Corona.
No corona, no?
No, Miss.
Okay. Sangavi, make sure you don't have corona, okay?
No, Miss.
Okay. Any questions?
Miss, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Like a small guiding doubt, which means we have a lot of kids in our place. So
Mm.
there is a boy, he studied well earlier when he was in grade 2 and all, but his
Mm-hmm.
mama she was in abroad.
Mm-hmm.
After, so we have a like a small committee with the kids, so we have some rules and regulation. With that he obeyed, and he studied, and he went to the Sunday class and all the stuffs in a proper way. After his mom came, they started to like pamper him and all, so he started to play with us, and he didn't concentrate on his studies and all. Now his mom is passed away. Now he is in grade 6, which means 12 or 11 years old.
11 years old,
But
yeah.
yeah, but now he is not, he is like, he's not listening to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
People are cursing him. They are telling him that he is going to be a rowdy or someone is like this. His auntie only looking at him. So
Looking after
like that.
him.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do for him. But he studied earlier and
His
all
mother passed away because of what?
because of sickness. She got sick and all. That's why. And he has some family problem at his house also. His father
Mm-hmm.
used to drink and he is a labor, so he is not taking care of his family as well. He's one of mother's sister only looking after him and others as well. So
Does he have siblings?
no, he is the only
Only, only son.
one baby. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe the kid is going through some traumas and he might be missing his mother, and this can be his defense mechanism that he has created against everyone.
Hmm.
He might be having some, he's small, no? So very small.
Yeah.
So he might be had developed some anger towards his father and
Yeah.
the society and the God and everyone.
Yeah.
They
He
don't
have
know
lot.
how to
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
it out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs separate counseling, darling.
Ah,
It's better
really?
if you can put him to a separate counseling, to a counselor, and try to study about his inner mind, what is running in his back of his mind, and all those
Mm-hmm.
things. It's better. It will help the kid. Otherwise,
Yeah, no?
when people are telling him you will become a rowdy, then he will take it as a acceptance. It's
Yeah,
kind of a
true.
social acceptance for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you should
Yeah.
not allow that to happen.
Mm.
Okay, so when you are guiding, you should guide the caretakers who is taking
Mm.
care of him. You have to
Mm.
guide them to first put him to a counselor, child counselor.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and then let's see how it goes.
Okay, ma'am.
But
Okay.
continuous counseling will uh, help him because now, as you said, he is taken care of by his one of his aunties. and father is very abusive and not giving a he's not giving any attention to this guy.
Yeah.
So there won't be any, nobody will be spending on him, right?
Mm.
Nobody will be ready to spend on him. So you can
Yeah.
take two places like, okay, once the situations get okay,
Mm.
you can bring into family planning. I can see him for free, no
Mm.
problem. We'll see
Okay,
how
ma'am.
it goes. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so
Okay.
just direct them like that.
Mm.
Okay, that will help. But your
Okay,
guidance
ma'am.
has to given in a proper way because, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing because we can clearly see he is in a situation, helpless
Yeah.
situation, right? So that is
Yeah.
his defense mechanism.
Mm.
That is how children react. They're children,
Okay.
okay? So you can direct him after the situation is okay. Until then, you try to talk to him, just
Yeah.
accept him, talk to him, and
Mm.
give him some. Just overlook his all his naughty things and all, but
Ah.
be with him, be around
Okay.
him, and involve him in everything.
Mm.
Try to give him some good friends.
Mm.
Okay, small
Okay, ma'am.
advices, small friendly advices will do, not a big ones. Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
just try
Okay.
to don't pamper, but
Mm.
try to show that you are there for him.
Mm.
Okay, don't pamper.
Okay.
That is
Okay, ma'am.
that will make him to depend on you. Don't do that.
Mm. Okay,
Okay,
ma'am. Okay.
don't do that. But show him that people are around him for him.
Mm.
Okay, that will help. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
no fuss. Okay, any questions? Any ideas before we move into counseling? No? Okay, here we go. So, principles of counseling. So there are a lot of principles, there are a lot of things, country to country counseling principles changes, and organization to organization counseling principle changes. But basically there are few things which never change. So that Hannon Nackland. Hannon Nackland's principles of counseling, we are just going to take it as a example, okay? But this can change. We can add some more into this, but these are the basic ones. So principles of counseling. Now all this time we were talking about guidance. Now we are talking about principles of counseling. It is strongly dedicated to self-direction and self-realization of the client or the student. So there it is something general. You can use it to everyone. Here it's something very personalized, very narrow and deep. Okay? We spoke about this before. The differences of counseling and guidance. We did, isn't it? So principles of guidance counseling is also much different than principles of guidance. Okay? It is strongly dedicated to self-direction and self-realization of the client or the student. In this, counseling will make the person to realize their own self by some of our counseling methods. It's mostly dedicated to do that. So that has to be the first and foremost principle of counseling. And client's need is to be put first, not what I want to happen. It's not that what I wanted to happen. It's not that what I wanted. It's all about the person who is sitting in front of me. His need has to put first. Okay? It is primary a preventive and remedial process. It has to come. So it has to come as another principle. Client's need is to be put first. So we have our main concern is the client and his need. So if we want to feel as acceptance, that need has to fulfill first, not anything else. Okay, if you see something else in him, okay, he is having some social phobia, he is having some personality issues, not that. He needs acceptance, that is his need. You have to put that first before doing anything else. And it is primary, a preventive and remedial process. Counseling is a primary and preventive remedial process. Means after something happened, you do cure. But before something happens, you do prevent. You can prevent. So counseling is mostly preliminary and preventive method. It's a basic. It prevents before person go into a worse situation. Okay, but if he is in a worse situation, then we can use the remedies as psychotherapies, practices, and all those things. But before that, counseling is basically known as a preventive method before people go. But in Sri Lanka, it always happen other way around. They straight after they develop things, they straight go to the psychiatric, take medicines, and if we recommend, they come for counseling. Whereas it is a secondary thing, not a preliminary thing. That's how we work in Sri Lanka, but that is not the way to happen. First, you should go to the counselor or psychologist. Then, if it is needed, if you can't prevent, it is already over the hand, then we send them to the psychiatrist. But here in Sri Lanka, straight to the doctor, then to the primary things. We are always different, no? Asians are always, mostly Sri Lanka, India, and all these places, we just go like that. So that is, can't help, but basically, counseling worldwide, counseling is taken as a preventive and remedial process, not the secondary process. Okay. And avoid dictatorial attitudes. Now, here in a class, I dictate. I dictate notes, I dictate things and everything. But as a counselor, we don't dictate any advice or any attitude. Counseling is not an advisory thing. It is something you make them realize what is going on with their lives and you make them realize how it has to change. That's it. We don't dictate them to do certain things. That is not counseling. Okay? Right. Any questions? Okay. Maintain relationship of trust and confidence with the client. So you have to maintain a relationship of trust and confidence, not anything else. You can't have any other relationship with the client out of that counseling room. The relationship is within the room, that is trust and confidence. It means the client should have the trust on you and the confidence on you that you will give him a proper path and also you will not judge him, you will not tell all these things to someone else. So that the trust and confidence relationship has to be maintained between counselor and counselee. Next, let the client make voluntary informed decision. Now, the decision should born from the client, not from the counselor. Counselor is not going to give any decisions to the client because the person who is in the problem is the client. So he is the best person to judge it and he is the best person to take decisions. Counselor's job is to show him the path, better path, and his job, the counselor's job is to help to take decisions. That's all. Okay, so that is a principle of counseling. You are not going to give decisions, make decisions on behalf of your client. You are just going to help them to make their own decision. They have to voluntary and they have to take decision which is informed to the counselor. The decision has to be informed to the counselor because otherwise counselor is clueless what is going on with this client's life. Okay, if it is not informed, counselor is also going to be helpless. So informed decisions has to be taken volunteer by the client. The client's family members and significant influencing personnel must be included in counseling process. What does this mean? We say confidentiality and trustworthiness and all these things, and then we are telling the client's family members and significant influencing personnel must be included in counseling process. Why is that? Then where is the confidentiality? Why do you think it is needed? Anyone? I feel like I'm talking to my laptop. Somebody have to answer. Somebody have to answer because I feel like I'm talking to my laptop. I can't see you. I can't hear you. Okay, the client's family member has to be included in the counseling process. Why do you think they have this? What do you think this principle means?
If it's necessary only, no, we need the family to take the counseling, or else
Ex-
normally.
exactly. No, if it is necessary, especially
Oh,
when you're dealing with kids, this is a must because they are
must.
comes under minors.
Mm,
So minors, they can't take their own decisions.
mm.
Okay, drastic decisions, life decisions, they can't make. So for minors, yes, they have to accompany by a parent because you also can't. If you have to direct them to a doctor, or if you have to direct, if you find they are highly suicidal or anything, then you have to seek help of the family member. That is for sure you have to do. Or else if he is harmful to the society. There are two instances that you have to seek, you have to go beyond the confidentiality state. If the client is suicidal, if the client is highly dangerous to the society, then you are allowed to go out of this confidentiality rule. Okay? In kids, when you're doing counseling for kids, anyway, there should be a adult or a person who is influencing in his life has to be consulted, included in the process because minors can't take their own decisions. You understand? In adults, you don't need any influential person to included in the session unless otherwise they are suicidal or they are dangerous to the society. Other than that, you can't involve any other individual in the counseling process without client's permission. If you think that he needs support from his surrounding or from his family, then you can get the permission of the client and you can include whomever he is naming. Okay? But other than that, in these situations, you can seek, you can include a influencing person or family member to the counseling process. Okay? Right. Maintain dignity of individuals as maintain dignity of individuals as individuals is primary concern is counseling. Concern in counseling. So you have to maintain his dignity. Now, because to counseling in the counseling process, people comes and tells about their very it means whatever they haven't sent to anyone else, not in their lives. Okay, so they will share very intimate relationship issues with you, sexual issues with you. So you have to maintain the dignity as you can't judge them. So you have to maintain the dignity by keeping the secrecy, maintaining the secrecy. Okay, so maintain dignity of individuals as individual is primary concern in counseling. Individual is the primary concern in counseling. Okay, right. Any questions so far? And other than that, in Sri Lankan context, uh, if a counselor is not married, there are ethics. Okay, there are ethics that you have to follow in counseling and in counseling. If a counselor is not married, he or she can't do marital counseling or sexual counseling in Sri Lankan ethics. Okay, in foreign countries it's not so, but in Sri Lankan code of ethics, counselor, if he or she is not married, they can't engage in marriage counseling or sexual counseling. Okay, and there is I think you can't have any other relationship with your clients, and you can't do counseling for your known people, friends or family. That is also comes under ethics. So those also considered as principles of counseling in Sri Lankan context. Okay, in our code of ethics. So those things I'll give you. Okay. Any questions?
No, miss.
Okay. So we are moving to our final section, functions of guidance and counseling. Okay. This has three elements. One is adjustment, development, and orientation. The functions happen in counseling and guidance in this, mostly in guidance, adjustments, development, and orientation. What is adjustment? What is adjustment? Hmm? The functionalities you adjust according to the student's need, um, the timing, the place, everything has to adjust according to the client or student's need. So adjustment has to go on that development. The function has to include a developmental process which suit fit to the student or the client's need. And orientation. The orientation has to take place in a proper medium, using proper tools and all those things. Okay, and all these three are interconnected with each other. The functions of guidance and counseling are interconnected with each other. Okay, right. So, functions of counseling: remedial, preventive, enhancement. Okay, remedial means functional impairment. Like remedial, after something has happened, the person is coming to you for a counseling. So here you listen to them. Sometimes listening to a client is also a remedy for their problems. How is it? How can it happen? How can be listening to a client can be a remedy for their problems? Again, I'm feeling like I'm talking to my laptop. Hmm? How can we listening can become remedy?
That is what they are expecting. Most of the people expecting someone should listen them, and after listening at them, they might get some solutions or suggestions like that.
Exactly. So most of the people has no one to talk properly. Most of the suicide happens because they don't have a person to accept them as they are, what they are going through, because they are scared that others will judge them, others will influence in their life, others will take chances. Okay, so all these fears make them shut up and shut down themselves. So, most of the times, talking and listening to a person will become a remedy for their problems, because after telling everything, after putting everything, we call it catharsis. After doing a catharsis, people feel very, very relaxed and they find their own solutions, own decisions, everything. But still, talking out, putting things out is very, very essential. So listening becomes a remedy when it comes to counseling. In counseling, listening is also a remedy. And also, next thing, after listening, a counselor is a trained person. Um, he has his own practice, everything. So he can suggest some remedies in therapy way, in relaxational ways, or medicational ways. Medication, of course, he will direct to a doctor, but which doctor that he has to direct? He knows, she knows. Okay, but talking out, the putting things out, will help the client to feel remedy. So the functional impairment, remedial, it's functional impairment, the function, listening, talking, and accepting, being non-judgmental, keeping the confidentiality, and being genuine, and telling, okay, none of these counselors will tell that whatever, if they can't do, they will say that we can't do this, you have to see a doctor. Or we can do this, you have to go through these therapies. Or you have to follow these homeworks. They'll be genuinely telling all these things. So, counseling function is one, we act towards remedies. Okay, we act toward functional impairments. And then preventive. Preventive. Now, it's good example what you said. The story that you came up with, who Amrita.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So now we are trying to. I told you to do that. I asked you to bring him for counseling to prevent him from going into an adverse situation, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Now I told you to put him to the counseling to prevent him from going to an adverse situation, being a threat to the society, being a threat to his own self, being not developing. Okay, so it's a preventive measure. Anticipate and accommodate. Now, we anticipate certain things. Counseling will anticipate what this can lead to, how this person will become if he goes like this, if he don't do these things, where he can go to, what he can lead to be. So we can anticipate and accommodate for that adverse situations. Okay, the counseling will anticipate and accommodate the preventive measures. Okay, so mostly counseling as a function is a preventive measure. We take preventive measures in counseling. So we prevent people becoming antisocialized, or end up with phobias, end up with mental issues, suicides, everything can be prevented through counseling. Okay, so counseling function 1 is prevention. Any questions? Any questions?
So far, no.
So far, no.
I feel clear
Sangavi?
like.
Sangavi
No,
sleeping?
miss. No, miss, I am here.
Okay. Tanya, let me. I didn't hear Tanya at all. I didn't hear Tanya at all. Where is Tanya?
Maybe I'll interrupt.
Huh?
Maybe I'll interrupt. That's why.
Okay. Okay. Good. So, you're all listening. Any questions, Tanya?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. All clear, no? Right.
Yeah.
Then the enhancement, function of counseling, enhancement. Now, when a person comes with issues and all these things, sometimes certain things we can enhance. Now, people comes with phobias. Okay. After developing phobia, what we can do, we can enhance him, not his phobia, but we can reduce his phobia and enhance his personality. So enhancing personality will help him to come out from the phobia. Okay, now you will find a lot of people with the phobia of heights. Okay, some people has phobia of public speaking or socializing. Phobia means bayam. Okay, scared, getting scared to certain things, highly scared to certain things. Okay, and so we can enhance the personality. Some people comes with certain personalities of always suspecting the partner or always suspecting the things that they touch, everything. Some people come with somatic disorders like they think, okay, my hand is really short or my nose is turned around. I have a very bad body shape. Actually, they don't. Actually, they look good. But in a mind, or else from the childhood, somebody has told them that they look like this, it's bad, they're looking bad, and all those things. They created a own belief within them. So we can, by enhancing the personality, by enhancing their abilities, we can bring them out from all these situations. So counseling functionality is enhancement. By enhancement, enhancing the human potential, what they have within them. Actually, they are looking good. Actually, they have the potentiality. Actually, they can climb the stairs. Actually, they can speak in public. Actually, they can face interviews. Okay, so everything they have, the human potentiality is there, but we have to enhance those things for them to come out from the mental issues or prevent them from being worst. Okay, so functions of counseling is 3: remedial, preventive, enhancement. And functions of guidance and counseling is adjustment, development, and orientation. Be thoughtful, all these things are interconnected. Remedial, preventive, enhancement is also, and also adjustment, development, and orientation. All these things are interconnected. Okay, one leads to other. This can goes to that. That has a overlapping thing with this. You understand? Okay. So we are done with that. We are done with that. Any questions? Anything that you want to share? Anything that you want to ask?
What is the homework we have to do?
That I'll give you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now what you're going to do is, Okay. You're going to, first you will be writing the summary of the class today. Today's class summary you will be writing. That of course
Okay.
everybody has to do. Are you all doing
Yeah.
actually?
We are doing.
Look, I will be checking. I need
Okay,
all
ma'am.
8 summaries to be done. Okay.
Hmm.
I'll be checking. No, Corona will not last forever. Right? So I'll
True,
be
true.
checking. So don't procrastinate things, just do it. You know what is procrastination?
No,
Procrastinate
miss.
means we'll do it tomorrow. You push things
Ah.
to later. Push things to later. Don't do that. Procrastination is that. Don't procrastinate. Just do things today itself and finish it off. Then you are free. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you are accumulating work for later, which is not going to happen, or even if it is happen, it's going to be half baked. So don't do that. Keep doing your work, and I'll be checking. And today's homework is you have to think about something that you need to improve in your within in yourself. Okay, check yourself in which you need, like whether you need a remedy, whether you need an enhancement, or whether you need a prevention. Okay, some quality of yours, some situation of yours, or anything. Take anything and write a paragraph of what you see within you and what you think that you need to do with that, and what is the help that you need from me as a counselor. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Write down a paragraph on those things and keep it with you. I'll be checking. Okay? That is your homework. So this is a good chance for you to go within yourself and check yourself and come out with some improvements, developments. Go towards some developments. Okay?
Mm.
So that is the homework that I am giving you. Any
Do we
questions on
want
the,
to write like which stage are we, which function we
if
should
you
want to?
know,
Oh, okay.
if you know, write it. If you don't
Mm.
know, you write only the problem, write only
Ah,
the
okay.
issue that you see in you,
Mm.
which you want to develop, and which way you want to develop, those things. Okay?
Okay.
Just something about you, not about others. Before
Yeah.
looking into others, before helping, guiding, counseling others, we have to do those things to us
Mm.
before that. We have to be self-aware. So this is called metacognition,
Uh-huh.
knowing about your cognition. Okay? So just go ahead with your metacognition and look into yourself and do this. Okay?
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Others, you understood?
Yeah, miss.
Puranjicha?
Puriyangor.
Puri?
Puriyati keulungo thiruppi.
Puriyati kalungo.
Oh,
Ask again if you don't understand.
yeah. And this is a good time to do this actually because we can sit and we can think. We have a lot of time to do no.
Yes, without daydreaming,
Yeah.
without watching all these corona memes,
Yeah.
okay? Without wasting time bugging your parents or bugging your siblings, just do this, okay? And
Self
you can
analysis.
self-analysis, some kind of self-analysis, and finish off all your pending works,
Mm.
okay? Finish off all your pending works. Take this opportunity. Take this time as an opportunity, not as a curse.
Okay.
Okay. I think we are finishing half an hour before, isn't it? Is it okay?
Yeah. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
okay.
It's fine,
All
no? We
are,
have come
I feel everyone is hungry. It's 1:30.
hungry,
Ma'am,
yeah.
did you
So,
eat?
no, not yet. I just cooked.
Ah,
So, okay, we'll wind up here, okay? Because the subject is over, and next class we'll be doing the processing and all these things.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
next Wednesday, I'll be meeting you next Wednesday with education psychology, and next Thursday with
guidance and
Guidance and counseling.
Okay. With God
Okay,
grace, if
ma'am.
everything goes well, we'll meet up very soon. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Take
So
care.
have a good day, children.
God bless you, ma'am. Be
God bless you.
safe.
Be safe. Okay.
Sangavi.
Yes. Okay.